In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I prepare for a new arrival. If you're a regular viewer of the channel, then I do apologise that I haven't had a chance to put up a video in a couple of weeks, but the weather has been absolutely crazy and I haven't been able to do much without having half my birds just disappear off with the wind. This is a very exciting week because we are having a new arrival that will be a really fun addition to the channel, as it is quite a unique and interesting type of bird. The type of bird that I'm getting is called a crested caracara, a very intelligent species of bird of prey. If you're watching this and you're preparing to get your first bird, don't worry that I'm getting quite a pretty unique species. The process I go through when preparing for a new arrival is the same. There are a few things you need to know from the breeder when you are preparing for a new hawk: how the hawk has been housed, tethered or free-lofted, how much handling they have done with it, if any, what sort of diet they have been on, and what furniture they will be fitted with. With the exception of some species, such as owls and kites, because these are usually imprints, I always like to tether a new bird while we go through early training. So my first task is to prepare a nice fresh aviary. As I have multiple birds, it's important to keep biosecurity in mind. I want to give the aviary a really good clean for the new bird, and that means sieving and cleaning all of the sand, making sure the walls are scrubbed clean, and having a clean perch ready. I've removed all the branches out of the aviary as I'm planning to tether the new bird to begin with. If I tether him with branches and perches above him in the aviary, he might try to jump up and fly up to these, and I don't want him constantly baiting around on the perch. I also have to prepare the travel box. It's important to make sure the box is appropriately sized. I don't want to use a box that's too big, otherwise he may jump around and try opening his wings inside it, potentially damaging himself. But I also don't want to use a box that's too small. He needs to be able to stand on the perch and have plenty of room for his folded wings and tail. Again, this needs to be nice and clean, and I like to put fresh newspaper in the bottom. I always like to take furniture with me when picking up a new hawk. If the bird is not fitted with anything, then getting the breeder to help you fit it will make life much easier when you get home. If the bird is already fitted with equipment, it means you don't have to take the breeder's equipment with you. I have a rough idea on the size of the bird, but I'm gonna make the equipment in a way that allows me to fit it perfectly on the bird.
She's so well behaved.
Yeah, I'm surprised she's standing in the room. I thought she would just sort of freak out.
I think she's really, really calm.
try and get away from her.
Go, go.
To bite my fringe. 1,112.
I don't know how good this is going to be to see with the mesh.
So it is Wednesday evening. I got back with her about 6 hours ago, and she's really settled in quite nicely in those 6 hours. I was not expecting to be able to stand and hold her on the glove like this in such a short amount of time. She's never been held on a glove before until I picked her up. I have already done some filming, and you will have seen earlier in the video I kept referring to the bird as a he, and that's because I was originally planning to get a male. But when we got to the centre, she was just in a bit better condition, brother and sister, and the sex doesn't really matter because I'm not going to breed off them, so I decided to go with a female instead. And she's only young. She was last year's bird, so this is her juvenile plumage, so she will change colour as she gets a bit older. The pink on her face should go sort of a bright orange colour. Her legs, which are very pale pinkish at the moment, they'll also go a really bright orange colour. And then she's got these light and dark brown sort of mottles on her chest. And as she starts to mature, she'll get these beautiful black and white stripes around her chest. And the rest of her body should go really quite dark. And then she'll have a little white tip on the ends of her tail and her wings. Now, because she's so settled, I'm going to try and give her a piece of food on the glove. Usually when I get a bird for the first ever time, I just like to leave them for the first night and the first day and just don't bother them at all. But because she's so settled, I'm going to try and give her a piece of food and see how she reacts. Oh, look at that, straight in. Excellent, good girl. I'm so pleased with this bird. So this is one of the joys of getting a bird from a falconry centre rather than private breeder. Private breeders tend to keep their breeding birds in seclusion pens. So there's not an open front to like all of my aviaries. It's closed all four sides, and there's usually just half an open roof to let a bit of light in. And so the birds never get to see a person until they're captured and taken out and given to the person who's going to be owning them. Whereas at a falconry centre, her parents were ex-display birds, so they're very comfortable with people anyway. And she was born, or she was hatched and raised in an aviary with two open sides that the public and staff were regularly walking past. So she has grown up, even though she's parent reared, she's grown up with people around her all of the time. So that is why she's so calm and relaxed with me, even though she's never worn equipment and never stood on a glove like this before. So I'm going to just pull a piece of food off and see if she'll let me pass it to her beak. You want this? No? No? I have tried weighing her. She was very good with the scales. She stepped straight onto them. She stood there nice and still, and then she stepped straight back up to me. And her weight is 1,112 grams. Now, I've never flown or trained a crested caracara before, so I've no idea what kind of weight they should be at, but even if I did, it wouldn't tell me a lot, because every bird is individual and they all have different flying weights. But 1,112 grams, I would say, is still a little too high because she's not really wanting to take this food from me. I wouldn't say it's incredibly high or majorly fat, because she did bend down and investigate the food as soon as I put it on the glove, and she is somewhat interested in this. I would say she just needs to get a little bit more comfortable with me, and then we'll be feeding on the fist in no time. And this? Yeah. Just up on the leg. What's wrong with the leg? Go on. There we go. Good girl. Good girl. Right there. Now, I'm going to put her back. I'm going to let her settle overnight, and then we'll carry on with some training in the morning.
It is day 2 with the still unnamed crested caracara. I thought for the second day we'll come out on a little walk around the flying field, just to begin to teach her that the glove is a nice, comfortable and safe place to be on, and to let her take in the sights and sounds that she'll be seeing regularly when she's training and flying. She's doing really well. We've only baited once, so the baiting is when they jump off the glove and try to fly away from you. I would expect a bird at this stage to be baiting quite a bit more than that, but she's only done it once, so I'm quite happy with her. She seems really quite relaxed. When I turned the camera off last night, I did actually manage to get her to eat most of the chick. So she's had one chick, but she has had a drop in weight. I've weighed her this morning, and she's gone from 1,112 grams down to 1,068 grams. And she was still quite interested in the chick at the higher weight, so I reckon as soon as I get one out, she should tuck herself straight into it, which I'm going to do whilst out on the walk.
So it's day 3 and I've got her sat here in the kitchen with me. I've been sat at the table editing the video and she's just been happily sat here on the perch. She gives a little call to me every now and then. She's met the dogs and I'm just trying to get her used to being around me and the dogs really. She doesn't yet have a name, so if you have any ideas, I would love you to leave a comment. Oh, lovely little rouse, good girl. Yeah, if you have an idea for a name, please leave it as a comment. I'm gonna then pick a good few of my favourite ones left as comments, and I'm gonna let my members vote on which one they think would be best for her, and that will be her name. I'm going to end the video here because it's getting quite long now, but make sure to subscribe because I will be doing regular videos of her training all the way through, and I think it's going to be quite exciting to see what we can get up to with this bird. So if you have enjoyed the video, then please give it a like, comment a name suggestion and subscribe, and thank you for watching.